Fox News is going to invite on disgraced neocon John Bolton here and talk about how Obama is soft and gentle on Al-Qaeda.
Is America going soft on Al-Qaeda? That's the accusation now from the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. Mike Rogers led Wednesday's grilling of the former Deputy CIA Director Mike Morrell on the Benghazi talking points. In an interview on Time magazine, Rogers says, quote, "We have numerous people that we know participate in the Benghazi attacks, affiliated with Al-Qaeda, that are still on the battlefield. We have the capacity to get them, but there's no planning to get them. We have other serious Al-Qaeda threats that normally we would take off the battlefield, but because of this administration's more kinder, gentler approach, we have not done that." What's Ambassador John Bolton think about that? Fox News contributor, former U.S. ambassador at the UN. What do you think about it? Softer?
Well, I think that's true, but I don't think it's new. I think that's been the administration's approach for 5 years. It was articulated by the president in the 2008 campaign. He fundamentally does not believe in the concept of a global war on terror. He doesn't think that we were attacked as an act of war by the terrorists, and he thinks that the way to handle it is through the law enforcement paradigm, that there's no victory to be achieved over terrorism. It's just a problem to be dealt with forever. I think that's fundamentally wrong.
Yeah, because you're an idiot. You know, the idea that he's throwing out there is a very disturbing one because it's so far away from reality. The idea is there will come a day when we can just wave the American flag and say, we have defeated terrorism, yes! But think about how silly that is. Is there ever going to be a day where there are no terrorists on the planet? No, of course not. There's going to always be terrorists of all different kinds of political stripes. You know, there could be a group of people who, you know, still believe in communism and are willing to use violence to achieve their goal. There could be a group that's, extremely nationalistic for whatever country. I mean, you pick it. That can be a fascist movement, essentially, that will kill people. Remember, terrorism is doing violence for a political ends. You know, I mean, it's just such a naive idea to say that we can eliminate terrorism. That's like saying, well, one day we can declare victory over murder. You're never going to declare victory over murder. The goal is to limit it as much as possible. There's never going to come a day when, from now until the end of time, nobody will ever murder again, and we can assure you of that. That's impossible to say that with any amount of certainty. But he, for whatever reason, thinks, and a lot of conservatives think, that no, with terrorism, it is possible. So naive. Now, furthermore, putting that aside and getting to the criticism of Obama, these guys just live on a fucking different planet, man. They don't look at the facts. They don't look at the data. Because, I mean, what was it? We were in Afghanistan 13 years now. And you're saying Obama's not war hawkish enough? He's not hard enough on Al-Qaeda? And the enemy, whoever that is, in a vague, abstract sense? How long so what is strong enough? What do we need to be there for 27 years before you say, okay, you know what, I think that's enough. I think that's enough now. No, but even then they wouldn't say it. We all know that even then they wouldn't say it. Because his facts be damned. I mean, the war in Iraq, over 10 years we were there. I mean, what more do you want, man? These wars are like record length, but you're saying that's still not war hawkish enough. And then furthermore, we haven't even gotten into the drone aspect of this. I mean, we're talking about a president here that increased drone use, okay? I don't like that. Other liberals don't like that. But the conservatives should be cheering this. You know, at least Bill O'Reilly's consistent when he says, I like Obama's drone policy. Bolton's like, no, that's not hard enough. You got to kill more people to get my dick hard. I mean, we're killing people in Pakistan, Yemen, Somalia. And by the way, the drones have a 98% failure rate, according to a study done by investigative reporters on the ground. And here's the main point, man. He already is incredibly hawkish. That's why we've, maintained the war on terror. That's why we still have 900 military bases around the world, and we still do this crazy idea of American imperialism. But I wish that Bolton's criticism were true, that Obama actually was softer, because guess what? If you are softer, is that a word? Yes, that is a word. Softer and gentler on Al-Qaeda, then guess what? You're going to undermine their ideology and they're going to go away. Now, I know that seems counterintuitive, but what we're doing right now is creating more terrorists. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. There have been studies done on this. There was one study done by, I think it was Peter Bergen and Paul Cruikshank in 2007, where they came up with the phrase, the Iraq effect. You know what that means? That ever since we started fighting the war on terror in Iraq, there has been a net increase in terrorism. It's, what the CIA refers to it as blowback, unintended consequences of an interventionist foreign policy. So in an attempt to limit the amount of terrorism, we have increased it. And the reason why is very simple. When we accidentally kill a bunch of civilians in a given country, then that makes it easier for the Taliban to swoop in and go, oh man, isn't that a shame? Look at these big bad Americans killing your family. Well, if you join us and you put your faith in us and you let us be your leaders, we're going to protect you from the big bad Americans. So they get to undermine our ideology. And it's just a fact that there's been a net increase in terrorism since we started the war on terror. So if we actually want to try to get as close as we can to eliminating terrorism, which will never happen, but if we can limit the amount of terrorism around the world by minding our business and actually doing national defense. I know, a wild idea, as opposed to national offense, where we go overseas and invade all these countries and kill all these innocent people, and then we stir up hatred against America. And they actually believe this crazy idea that, oh, President Obama is soft and gentle on Al-Qaeda. Really? Ask Osama bin Laden if that's true or not.